Hello everyone and welcome to Blaugrana Everything, and welcome back to the channel and to a monthly special where we take a look at the best performing players over the past calendar month, which in this case is of course February 2022. Now, while you're hitting that like button and subscribing to the only Barca-centric channel that will give you ratings-based rankings of the 5 best players each month, I just wanted to mention that coming into February, there was a lot of pressure riding on the shoulders of Xavi Hernandez and his Barcelona team just because of that fixture list. And I mean, just have a look at it, right? We all knew that if Barca were going to make it through this, some big performances were going to have to come from the players, from Xavi as well, and boy did a lot of them deliver. With really the exception of the draw at Espanyol, La Blaugrana dominated their opponents and made a habit of scoring 4 times as well, with Atletico Madrid, Valencia, Napoli and Athletic Bilbao all falling victim to some rampant displays. Last time out in January, I said that it had been a month that saw Barcelona start to win the matches that you'd expected them to, but also showed that they are still a few steps short of where they want to be with respect to being able to dominate matches against more competitive teams. Well, along came February, and guess what? It saw Barcelona take the next step in their progression as they showed that they have what it takes to dominate matches against more competitive teams, as evidenced by the 19 goals that they scored in the month of February. Alright then, let's go ahead and do this countdown of Barcelona's top 5 players in February. At number 5, we have one of only 2 players that have managed to retain a spot in this list. And to kick us off, it's none other than Gerard Piqué with an average rating of 7.12. Whereas Barcelona's goal-scoring exploits in February meant that Piqué didn't have to be at his very best, the veteran Catalan probably didn't get that memo as he put in some top-notch performances against Atleti, against Napoli in both legs, and against Bilbao as well. His absence against Valencia was also noticeable, as at times the Barcelona backline struggled to cope with waves of pressure from Losche without Piqué at the back. All in all, he had a very brilliant month in February, and he of course got that crucial goal at Napoli, so he is deservedly in 5th place, I feel. Next up, we have the second player that managed to retain their spot in the top 5, and ironically, it's the same man who finished 4th the last time around, Pedri. With an average rating of 7.13, just 0.02 off of 3rd place I should add, the young man from the Canary Islands has successfully left me with the egg on my face, as last time around I predicted that with a full month's worth of regular football, Pedri would top this list. Yeah. Flops predictions aside, Pedri has been nothing short of a class act over the past month, and the fact that he didn't get higher match ratings is evidence of how the typical matrices used to quantify player performance don't always accurately represent what your eyes will show you by watching the player. But like I did also say last time out, if Barca were going to come out of February smiling, they'd owe Pedri a lot of thanks, and I think we can all agree that he was very crucial to some of the wins that Barcelona secured in February. Next up, at number 3, with an average rating of 7.15, we have none other than Adama Traore. First of Barca's January deadline day signings, Adama returned to Catalonia and was thrown straight into the thick of things, making his 2nd debut at Camp Nou in a fiery encounter against Atletico de Madrid. Adama proceeded to destroy Mario Hermoso over and over again in a display that was really a foreshadowing of what was to come from him during February. He grabbed an assist against Atleti and would go on to grab 3 more away at Espanyol and away in Naples. Had it not been for a spectacular close-range save by Diego Lopez, I should add, he'd have probably scored a goal too. Adama has injected a new lease of life, power and pace into Barcelona's right wing, and it rightfully lands him, get it, right wing, rightfully. It rightfully lands him a spot in the top 3 players from February. Now, before I get into the top 2, I'm just going to drop some honorable mentions, and these are primarily players who missed out because they didn't start enough games. You know, all these players must have started in at least 2/3 of the matches Barcelona played in order for me to have considered them. but also there are some players who just purely missed out because of the math of player ratings. You know, one number is bigger than the other. In the first category, we have players like Ousmane Dembele and Dani Alves who just didn't make enough appearances, whilst in the second category, we have the likes of Frankie de Jong, Sergio Busquets and Ronald Araujo, all of whom missed out by just, fractions. Alright then, on to the top two, and in second spot, we have Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with an average rating of 7.33. Narrowly missing out on top spot was the second of Barca's January deadline day signings, Aubameyang. Unlike Adama, who joined Barcelona on loan, Auba actually joined on a permanent basis on a free from Arsenal, and 1 month later, the Gabon international is looking like an absolute bargain of a deal for Barcelona, as he has since scored 5 goals in 6 appearances for Barca, 3 of which came in that win at Mestalla, where he has now scored 6 goals in 2 appearances. He followed up his hat-trick with a goal each against Napoli and Athletic Bilbao, as Barcelona scored 12 goals in 3 matches with Aubameyang leading the line. Prior to sitting down and doing all the math, I was actually pretty sure Aubameyang would take top spot, but despite all of his goal-scoring exploit, it just wasn't enough for him to take top spot, as he was just, and I mean just, okay, I've said just a lot here, right? He was just edged out with the slenderest of margins by none other than top spot player of the month himself, Jordi Alba, coming in with an average match rating of 7.34, 0.01 higher than Aubameyang. At first glance, I couldn't quite believe it, but then I began to take a closer look at the stats around Auba, and I saw that in the 5 appearances that he made for Barcelona during February, he actually managed to register 2 goals and 2 assists. I said on more than a couple occasions during my match reviews in February how Auba is almost without peer when he is at his best, and during the month of February, that's exactly what he was. He was at his best, and he rarely, if ever, seemed to put a foot wrong, as his influence in the attacking third grew more and more as he and Ferran Torres became better acquainted. That understanding down the left will most likely bring many good things for Barcelona going forward into the rest of the season, and should Barcelona get their hands on any silverware come the season's end, it's likely that it will happen with a huge contribution from the veteran left back and the Blaugrana Everything Player of the Month for February, Jordi Alba. That's pretty much a wrap. Ladies and gentlemen, what were your thoughts on my picks for Player of the Month this time around? Do you agree with the top 5 as I have presented it? Is there anyone you think I left out, or anyone I should have left out? Please do let me know your thoughts in the comments. Thanks for tuning in. Have a wonderful day, and Forza Barca.